The Fall of a Star, a Nigerian celebrity caught in America. Dare Adewale was no ordinary man. He was a legend in Nollywood, a household name in Nigeria, and an emerging figure in Hollywood. His deep voice, charismatic presence, and unmatched talent had made him one of the most sought-after actors on both continents. But for all his success, there were whispers in the corridors of power, murmurs in high places that hinted at a darker side to his fortune. Dare had arrived in Los Angeles for what was supposed to be his biggest career break, a role in a major Hollywood blockbuster. It was a dream come true, a leap from the African film industry to the world stage. He had the talent, the connections, and the confidence. But what he didn't know was that his past was finally catching up to him. It was a chilly Friday night in Beverly Hills. Dare was cruising down Sunset Boulevard in his customized black Rolls-Royce Phantom, enjoying the city's neon lights, unaware that federal agents had been tracking him for months. Earlier that day, he had finalized a multi-million-dollar deal with a Hollywood producer, sealing his entrance into the elite class of actors who commanded global attention. With his new success, he had thrown an exclusive party at a high-end club, attended by some of the biggest stars in the entertainment industry. The drinks flowed, the music thumped, and the night seemed endless. But as he left the party and got into his car, he noticed something unusual. A black SUV parked 2 cars away, its occupants hidden in the shadows. A sense of unease crept into his mind, but he brushed it off. He had been involved in enough business deals to know how to keep his composure. However, as he approached a red light near Wilshire Boulevard, a pair of flashing red and blue lights illuminated his rearview mirror. Dare sighed, slowing down and pulling over. As a high-profile celebrity, he had been stopped before, overzealous police officers who just wanted a picture or an autograph. He rolled down his tinted windows, expecting the usual routine. License and registration, please. Dare handed over his Nigerian driver's license, his gaze meeting that of Officer Carter, a seasoned LAPD officer who had no idea he was about to be part of a national scandal. Mr. Adewale, do you know why we stopped you? Officer, I honestly have no idea. Is there a problem? Just then, a second officer, Rachel Lopez, walked up to the passenger side of the car. She noticed something in the back seat, a duffel bag filled with cash, partially unzipped. Her training kicked in. Something was off. Before Dare could react, Officer Carter received a notification on his system. An arrest warrant had just been issued for Dare Adewale by the U.S. Department of Justice. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Dare's smile faded. He hesitated. This must be a mistake. But the officers were already moving with precision. Within moments, Dare was in handcuffs. The flashing cameras from paparazzi who had coincidentally been nearby caught the entire ordeal. The world was about to know that the celebrated Nigerian superstar had just been arrested on U.S. soil. News of Dare's arrest spread like wildfire. Social media exploded with hashtags like #JusticeForDare and #DareAdewaleScandal. Some fans believed it was a setup, others speculated about what he could have possibly done. It didn't take long for the truth to surface. The U.S. government accused Dare of being involved in a multi-million-dollar international fraud scheme. According to the FBI, he was allegedly linked to a network of cybercriminals involved in money laundering, wire fraud, and identity theft. They claimed that his luxurious lifestyle had been funded, at least in part, by illicit transactions spanning Nigeria, Dubai, London, and America. And the Nigerian entertainment industry was in shock. Producers who had worked with Dare began distancing themselves. Brands that had signed endorsement deals with him started pulling out. The Nigerian government was bombarded with questions, some demanding intervention, others calling for accountability. Back in Lagos, Dar's mother, a devout Christian woman, collapsed upon hearing the news. But the biggest blow came when his bank accounts were frozen. The luxurious lifestyle he had built was crumbling before his eyes. Months later, Dare sat in a courtroom in downtown Los Angeles, his usually confident demeanor replaced with exhaustion. The prosecution presented mountains of evidence: bank statements, emails, and testimonies from individuals who had allegedly worked with him in orchestrating financial fraud. His defense team argued that Dare had been framed, that he had unknowingly gotten entangled with the wrong people. They painted him as a victim, rather than a perpetrator. But the prosecution was relentless, determined to make an example out of him. The courtroom was filled with journalists, Hollywood insiders, and Nigerian elites who had flown in to witness the trial of one of their own. The jury deliberated for 3 days before returning with their decision. As Dare stood before the judge, his heart pounded. The judge cleared his throat and read the verdict. "Judge, on the charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering, we find the defendant guilty." A collective gasp echoed through the courtroom. Dare's world spun. Everything he had built, everything he had dreamed of, was now reduced to a prison sentence. The judge sentenced him to 12 years in federal prison with the possibility of parole in 7 years. He would also have to pay back millions in restitution. Dare sat in his prison cell, staring at the cold walls. This was not the Hollywood ending he had envisioned. But as he reflected, he knew he had 2 choices. Let this define him, or find a way to rise again. Would he emerge from prison a changed man, or would the world forget about the once beloved Nigerian superstar? Only time would tell.